I think we got Andrew Shepard from ICAR Canada on the line right away. And Andrew's going to be spending the next 15 minutes to half an hour explaining what ICAR is doing in Canada and how it affects the Saskatchewan marketplace, because we need to be ICAR Gold Class certified. So I've asked Andrew to come and speak to how ICAR is handling the pandemic issues and how they're going to get the training out to our folks. And maybe he'll give us some insight as to where we are at as a province right now. So I think you're ready to go, Andrew. You can take it away.
I am. Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Thanks very much for the invitation, and I'm very sorry not to be there live. I enjoy coming out to Saskatchewan, maybe more than anywhere else in the country. It's such a beautiful province, and you have the nicest people in the country. So I really miss coming out there. My intention is, I'm going to go over a little bit of an explanation of ICAR, but I guess it's hard to believe that with the initiative you're in the middle of, that there are people who really don't know about ICAR. So I'm gonna stick to the kind of a couple of the basics just in case. But my main point is to give you my email address. The people in the room who have been dealing with ICAR over the last couple of months will know that we have been underwater, scrambling, shift all of our initiatives over to online training for the most part, and on the welding side, trying to convert our programs from based in the colleges and institutions, shifting them out into shops. And it's been a very labor-intensive effort, and there may be a bit of frustration on your part. I'd love to hear about that today, and I'd also love you to connect with me directly, if you can, to solve any urgent problems. I will probably come back to you and say, have some patience, but coming to me directly never hurts. So I hope that's okay.
Excellent.
These are the current recognition figures in Saskatchewan, which are going to alarm Kieran and Ryan if they're in the room, a few other people. It may not be a surprise to some people. There are 25 gold class shops and 19 gold class aluminum. I put in the former gold class in progress shops because we know for a fact that they were committed to moving ahead to gold class. And of course, that recognition path ended about a year and a half ago. So these numbers are not, they're not going to overwhelm anyone, given the understanding that all shops have to be at gold class in the new year. That being said, we're quite happy that we're delivering as much online training as we can to anyone who wants it. And I'm going to go into a bit the status of the welding program in Saskatchewan, just briefly, mostly to thank a lot of people there. So that's our progress so far. I'm going to count on Tom to interrupt me with questions because I don't know how to do that from here. The basics, as always, are that for a shop to become gold class, they have to have at least one technician who is platinum in each of the 4 key roles: non-structural technician, steel structural technician, estimator, and refinish technician. About a year ago, our curriculum changed entirely, so that most of our 3- and 4-hour courses were broken into 45-minute and 1-hour courses. And so that the list you see here is longer than it used to be. But that being said, the time required to complete each of these platinum designations has actually been reduced. So these look like a large list of courses, but they are all fairly brief. The way that all of the managers, the shop managers in the province are going to check their status is to log into icar.ca, that's i-car.ca, and look under My Store and Agency Training. And they're going to see under there 3 levels of status that they can look at. The first one is an overview, tells you very simply, does your shop meet each of those requirements? You have them designate, each of your technicians designated in a role, at least one staff member is platinum in the 4 key roles, training required to maintain, etc. So these are the general rules of Gold Class, and very easy for you to see how you stand against your next renewal period. You can also click on your progress chart and also individual status to look at what each person needs to move towards platinum. And I'm very happy to take anyone through that if they want to do that with a Zoom meeting at any point one-on-one. So those are the basics of what we're doing. I do want to, just before I do that, I want to speak a bit about welding. Welding is obviously the most expensive part of the iCar curriculum, the most time consuming, and you know, in terms of nomenclature, it's the only area where iCar offers a certification, a skills certification, and it certifies that the welding technician has the competence to perform the 8 or 9, in most cases, welding practices that are in each certification. And because it's certification, it has to be hands-on, it has to be invigilated by a trained and certified welding instructor. And there's obviously no way we can do this online at the moment. So because of, you know, we had a lovely plan before COVID, and we had lots of time, and if there's anything that's going to teach you to have a backup plan, it's been the COVID situation. So I'm going to give a shout out, and I know you're going to hear from these people a little later in the agenda, but Kieran Downs and Ryan Smith at SGI, you know, I see a lot of jurisdictions, including the United States, and I'll say yet again publicly to everyone that you in the province are lucky to have the insurer. You know, everyone who's watched Tom and the association work with SGI has to be impressed about the, you know, no territorialism, no turf wars. It's just designed to move the industry forward into competence. And so their role in organizing reorganizing the delivery of welding has been astonishing, frankly, from my end. And I don't see another area where it could have been done so effectively. And the other partnership clearly in this realm is SAS Poly. Paul Carter and Scott Kucherishin I'll tell you that a lot of my career was in the college system, and it can be infested with bureaucracy. But the agility of SAS Poly in meeting the welding needs, in getting teams out into the province to deliver welding has been incredible. And I hope everyone in the room is going to give them a round of applause when they get to stand up, because although the urgency and the effort required on the part of the shops to move to Gold Class has been, you know, you can't deny that. You also have to say that the people who are trying to make it happen from the other components, you couldn't ask for anything more. So many thanks to them. I do want to point out one one real breakthrough I think we've had in the last few months, which is really to expand our supplier training program, the Industry Training Alliance. It's called the Sustaining Partnership in the US. But the companies that you see on the screen now have signed agreements with ICAR Canada where virtually all of their courses count for ICAR equivalencies, not just, for example, maintenance hours or for supplier certification for refinishing, but a whole host of the courses I mentioned before that are required for Platinum are now delivered to you through these companies, the training of these companies. And not only that, you don't have to pay, at least you don't have to pay ICAR. You don't have to pay, you don't have to fill out any forms that you used to. It's automatic. So when you take the training from these companies, you know beforehand which ICAR requirements they satisfy, and you get them automatically. So that's a real breakthrough for us, and I think for the shops, it makes things a lot smoother, and we're pleased to be going forward on this basis. So I frankly don't have a lot more to say. I was not going to go over the nuts and bolts of ICAR because I do that, for the last 10 years, and I figure most people know it. But I would be happy to take some questions if there are any. And indeed, as I always say, complaints. I'm happy to take complaints. And I don't know how you're going to feed them to me over Zoom, but if I see them, I can just say, oh, I don't see them. It must be the technology. I don't know what to do here. So Tom, I'm going to leave that to you and try and get some questions if there are.
Hey, Andrew Shepherd, it's Tom Bissonnette here. Can you hear me?
I can indeed.
Thanks very much for agreeing to come on this morning. I know you have a busy day today. If you could go back to that slide that shows how many shops have qualified for ICAR Gold Class and how many are in progress. When you think of all the work that SGI has done to promote it and all the work that SAS Polytech, we have that Canada Saskatchewan Job Training Grant that basically pays the cost of a shop to take the ICAR Gold Class training. Do you think that between October and March that there's going to be enough time to get 200 plus body shops trained for ICAR Gold Class?
Oh yeah, there's no difficulty in the timeline. I don't have the capability to map somehow how close the rest of the shops are to Gold Class. But I do know that this is not starting from zero. And if a shop said to me, look, I have no credits whatsoever, can I make Gold Class? I would say you can make Gold Class in 6 weeks if you can dedicate the time to it. It has some expense, but not compared to a new welder or some of the other machinery that goes into a shop. So the timing issue is not insurmountable to me.
Yeah, because all the online classes are available anytime, anywhere that a person wants it, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and the welding, I think Scott will address that later today in the SAS Polytech presentation. But I know that those courses are wrapping up in the live training, and there's really no excuse. But it's concerning to see those numbers when you think that we've known about this for over a year. Notwithstanding COVID, you'd think we'd be a little closer. I was surprised to see that.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised. I won't say dismayed because we've had more interaction with Saskatchewan shops than any other province, obviously, over the last few months. And I would guess if you did a poll in the room, most people would say we're on the doorstep of it.
Okay.
But I'll just go again to this here. If there are shops in the association, in the province, in the room, who are thinking, I'm embarrassed to stand up and say, I don't know what to do next, or etc., email me directly, and we will make sure we have a hands-on approach to it.
Yep. That's good. You've been very approachable, and I almost feel guilty. It seems like every time I have a question, I'm sending it to you. And what I found, folks, is that Andrew gets back like immediately. I don't know. He just waits for my messages, right, Andrew?
Oh, well, you're priority number one, Tom, as I
Thanks.
say to everyone.
Thanks. Oh, that's good. Well, any other questions out there? Is there any on the chat line or any of the participants? We have 21 participants online right now. We've got people in the room. There's a microphone here. If you would like to step up to the microphone and make a comment, that'd be great. Everybody's got nothing to say? Okay. Well, oh, we got a speaker. Hang on a second, Andrew.
Yep.
Ben Garreau from, what's the name of your shop?
Advantage Collision.
Advantage, Ben, yeah, I knew that.
So, Andrew, actually, I've just got a comment to make. We've been ICAR Gold Class Aluminum last year and trying to get back this year. My guys were ICAR Gold Class Aluminum last year. This year, all of a sudden, they're at 60%. So I was a little, distraught about that.
Yeah.
My big worry, my big concern is we're trying to get a hold of you guys, and you guys aren't calling us back. And I mean, I waited 2 weeks for a call back, not getting a call back. And we're trying to get this stuff organized, and especially with the welding stuff, because the hands-on courses, obviously you can't take that online. So we've got to coordinate that. A welding course came up, and like in 10 minutes it was full. So unless you're sitting there with your finger on the button, you're not getting in. And the big frustrating thing is trying to get a hold of you guys. And I hope you're addressing that.
Ben, I appreciate that comment. It's a bit of an excuse to say we've been going through staff changes, but we've got 2 new staff on in the last 2 weeks, and we do see ourselves emerging from this side of it. That's a bit why I wanted to provide my email address. If we go in the general route, you just get into a queue, and I do apologize for that. I know there's a lot of urgency on your part. So if you're not satisfied with what you're getting from the general line, send me a note directly. My staff hate it when I am kind of hijacking their queue list, but between you and I, coming to me directly is going to be the way to do it. So
Thank you,
I
Andrew.
apologize for that, Ben.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Okay. Any other comments or questions? Somebody's got a chat here. I'll see what it says, Andrew. Just that the communication needs to be quicker for sure. So
I hear you. I hear you, and you'll see it improve very steadily over the next week or 2 as well.
well, I think everybody's in that kind of the sprint now to the finish, because we are, is it 6 months or less? 6 months really, isn't it? Before we have to get this all qualified. So we have another speaker coming up, Bree Campbell from Dynamic Auto Body.
Hey there. I just have another comment too, that we still haven't received our 2020 plates for all the plaques. And
That's going to be a while longer. When we were kicked out of our offices, we're still not back in them. We've put that as a second priority. Getting the training and the certification out has been our effort, but the plaques and the plates have been actioned in the last week, and you'll see them in the next couple of weeks. So I do appreciate that.
Good. Thanks, Bree. Okay. Andrew, I think you're off the hook pretty good. You're lucky that Kieran and Ryan aren't here to talk to you. So
Yeah, it's perfect.
if you stick around for a little bit, they're going to be on just after our next speaker. So, but appreciate the fact that you've made yourself very available. I was surprised to hear the comment about not being able to contact you guys, because I've always just emailed Andrew and got pretty much immediate results. So hopefully that will clear things up for a few people, and we'll maybe put that out, Andrew, in my newsletter if you don't mind. I hate to.
No, please come to me.
Yeah, I mean, if they have issues, they should call the number, but if you're stuck and you need an answer, Andrew's the guy to talk to. So really appreciate your time. I know you got a busy day today, and good old Scottish Highland guy like yourself. Enjoy your weekend, and we look forward to talking to you soon, Andrew. Thank you very
All right,
much.
thanks. Have a great conference, and I look forward to seeing everyone live again next year, I hope, or the fall.
100%. Thank you very much.